Hi everyone, it's my 35th birthday and I'm making this video for myself and for anybody that cares about me. It's just very interesting to me. 35, like what? I'm officially like not a young man anymore. I'm just a man now. That is so weird to me. Like how did I get to 35? so, but yeah, I think this last year of my life has been the toughest so far. And I've just been doing a lot of reflection leading up to my birthday. A lot of reflection and plans, and I guess I just want to put some things out there. I, I, I just want to say some things. I'm not making this video for one particular person or for views on socials or anything. I guess this is more of just a personal record, a diary, um, something I'm going to look back at and remember this is where my head was at when I turned 35, and this is what I was thinking. Obviously, I could just write this down, but I like to build in public. I like people to see my process while it is still happening, not after the fact. Because after the fact, people see the results and then I can make up whatever story I want and say, oh, this is why I was able to achieve these results. But when you see it while it's still happening, it's different. So I guess I'll start by talking about, let me just start by the fact that I'm recording this in Los Angeles right now. And since 2020, I think I've spent, so what, 2020 is 6 years ago now. I think in the last 6 years, half of the time I've spent March in Los Angeles is just it's weird how that happens because it's not like I plan it ahead, but there always seems to be something happening in California in March that brings me. So I've come for Game Developers Conference in 2023. This is 2025. I just attended the Emmy Awards where Iwajo was nominated for 3 Emmys. We didn't win any, but it was still a very interesting experience. In 2020, I I came for Game Developers Conference in 2020, but it did not hold anymore because of the pandemic. So I ended up visiting Disney Animation Studios and my family in the US. So again, it's just weird. I've spent like half of my birthdays in the last few years in California. Now, about the last year, I'm not going to go into too many details, but like I said, it has been the toughest year of my life so far. However, I've also finally made progress in an area where I've been feeling stuck for a very, very long time, which is my spiritual life. Anyone who knows me knows that I take my faith very seriously. I'm a very strong believer in Christ. In fact, if you check my social media bios, the first thing you're going to see is Christian. I always introduce myself as a Christian, a geek, a storyteller, and a teabag. So Christian is the first thing there. But I feel like I've been stuck in my spiritual life in that no matter how much time and effort I put in, I wasn't able to um, hear from God with the ease with which we are promised as Christians. And I finally broke through that a few months ago, being around November 2024. So I'm definitely going to talk about that in a separate video. This video is going to be more of bullet points, but I'm going to do a separate video talking about what I discovered and the steps I took towards being able to hear and receive directly from God on a consistent level, on a consistent basis. And it has changed my life. I can say that for sure. As much as I think the last 1 year has been the toughest 1 year of my life, but I've made significant progress spiritually that I'm very, very grateful for. So I think that's the first thing I'll talk about. Second, mm, oh yeah, second thing. So one weird thing about getting older, one of my goals for the last few months was I was going to stop going to the gym, stop lifting weights, and transition into calisthenics. So when you see can I swear on this? I was going to say cool shit. when you see cool stuff like this, like what you see on screen right now, walking with your hands, human flag, swinging from these poles, all of that, this level of fitness is what I aspire to. I used to be very flexible when I was younger. I could do some weird stuff like putting my leg on my shoulder, my right leg on my left shoulder, or my left leg on my right shoulder. I was very flexible. I'm no longer that flexible. And I'm not interested in lifting weights and being super buff and looking like the Hulk or like Hamid. I want to I want to be strong, but slim, ripped, flexible. So I was going to stop lifting weights and start doing calisthenics. So my gym subscription was supposed to expire, I don't remember, I think around January. And then I was going to use that money, instead of resubscribing for the gym, I was going to subscribe for this calisthenics app and start following all the tutorials there and building myself in that area. Would you believe that the first weekend of 2025, I went to play basketball and I tore my meniscus. Now, the MRI says I have a complex tear in the anterior horn of my medial meniscus with extrusion out of the joint. That basically means my leg hurts like hell. And it means I cannot run, I cannot jump. And it's so weird to me. Like, this is old people stuff. Like, this is I tore my knee and now I have to wait a few months for it to heal before I can. So I've not been to the gym since January and I'm not doing my calisthenics either. So it's just like sometimes you make plans and the best laid plans, one random occurrence just throws them out of the window. So I think that's one thing I've learned about life in general, which is why if you see me, no matter what I'm going through, it's very difficult for you to see me stressed. I mean, obviously, I'm a human being. It gets to a certain point, I will get stressed and I'll need a break. But I think I have a very high tolerance for stress just because over time I've realized you cannot plan, you don't know what's going to happen. God knows what's going to happen, but you don't. So it's best to just find out God's plans and follow God's plans. I did not know that I was going to tear my meniscus and not be able to start my calisthenics journey this January. I mean, I didn't even know we were going to do Iwaju. We were going to collaborate with Disney Animation. We did not plan that. And but as soon as the window of opportunity opened, God puts us in the right place at the right time. We got the opportunity, and funny enough, that window is closed for the time being. So we got in the small window that was open. We could not have planned that, which is why when things are going very bad, and when I'm going through very tough times, I know like I can't plan my way out of it. I can't walk my way out of it. I'm not a lazy person. I'm going to put in work, but I'm not going to rely on that work. I rely on the grace of God. Again, like I said, this video is just going to be bullet points. I will do specific videos on all these topics at some other time. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. So like I said, this video is just going to be bullet points. I will do specific videos on each of these topics at some other time. But I just wanted to get this out of the way. Now, that's enough about the past. Let's talk about the future. Things I'm looking forward to this year. First of all, I started writing a book last year. I'm still in the early phases of writing the book. But I hope to finish and release the book this year, 2025. Now, I know Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, and everything takes 3 times as much time as you think it would take. So I'm not going to be surprised if the book doesn't come out this year and ends up coming out in 2027 or 2028. But I will at least try to finish writing the book this year and get it published this year. I've never written a book before. This is going to be my first time just trying to share some of my knowledge and experience with the world. I do that a lot in videos, but books are much more detailed and require a lot more focus to consume. And I think I want to create something for people who were in the position I was in almost 10 years ago and give them the information I wish I had. So I will tell you more about this book later. Another thing I have planned for this year, Which of the two do I want to talk about first? Okay. So another thing I have planned for this year is revamping the videos I put out on social media and on YouTube. So since September 2021, I've been making these 1 minute videos that I call Just a Minute with Tolu Foyeh. I've done almost 100 of them at this point. And one of the last videos I put out, I asked people for their feedback. What kind of videos do they want to see? Do they like the 1 minute format or do they want longer videos? Because I wasn't sure how much help or value people were actually getting out of my videos. Like, are people actually enjoying this or learning anything? So, some of the feedback I've gotten, well, universal acclaim for my cats. Most people want my cats to be in my videos. So, Blade, you're going to start earning your rent. Yeah, so I'm going to put Blade in more videos. But then, secondly, business tips. People want more business tips. And I'm surprised because some of the people that are asking for business tips are people I feel like I should be getting business tips from them. Yes, Rita, I'm looking at you. I don't know why you want business tips from me. Then, yeah, people want longer videos. So I think I'm going to stop doing the 1 minute videos. I will save the 1 minute videos for things that make sense to be 1 minute videos. But instead of doing a video teaching you how to use Airtable, for example, instead of doing 10 1 minute videos on Airtable, going forward, I would just do maybe a 15-minute video teaching you how to use Airtable. So my 1 minute videos are going to be on things like Murphy's Law, which I just mentioned a few minutes ago. You can talk about Murphy's Law in a minute. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Quick, but I'm going to start doing longer form video. Someone wants me to talk more about Kugali comics and Kugali IPs. I will think about that and talk to my team at Kugali about that because Kugali is not, it's not my personal business. We're a team. And I don't know if I should be making videos about Kugali content personally, where that could be, you know, on Kugali's own platform. But I will talk to my team. We'll see what we'll do about that. The one that really amused me, some people want me to review video games, and the people who said this, I don't think they are people that actually play video games. That's why I'm amused. I'm like, okay, they know that I like video games, so maybe they just want to hear me talk about video games because they know I like them. But I'm like, why do you want to hear me talk about games when you don't play games? So I'm going to test this. I will do 1 or 2 videos about the games I play the most, see what the feedback is like, do people actually want to hear me talk about video games? I don't know. And then I think the last major note I got in terms of feedback from people is they want to see personal examples from my life. So usually when I talk about concepts and I say, okay, this is the Pomodoro technique, I give an example of how I use the Pomodoro technique. So those are generic examples, but I never give specific examples from my life. For example, I never do a video where I say, hey, I had this business deal and this is the mistake I made and this is why I lost the deal. I never do videos like that. I keep those type of things out of the public domain. I tell my friends one on one, oh, this is what I'm going through, this is what happened. But if you check all my public videos, you're not going to know specific things that happened to me in my life. You're just going to hear general concepts. And people are saying they want more specific examples. I am very careful about those type of things because the internet never forgets. So before I put any real life examples from my life online, I'm going to think very hard about it and decide what I feel is okay to put out there. But you guys asked, so I will try to do a little bit more of that. And I guess finally, no, two more things. Two more things I'm looking forward to this year. Number one, I have never finished a video game and released it ever. I have worked on quite a few video games, but I've never finished a video game and released it to the public. So this year, I want to try and do that. Just one small game. One small game that would take me 2 weeks to make. Nothing amazing, nothing big. Just finish one small game. I wanted to have done that in January, but I ended up like learning a new game engine, and that was taking time, and I've just not been able to finish that. So I might not do it in Q1 or Q2, but my target is before the end of this year. I should at the very least release my first small little video game to the public, because you know my long-term goal. I'm going to win a few game awards before the end of my career. Not just game awards, I want to win game of the year. If I don't win game of the year before the end of my career, if I don't win at least one, then I failed. And I'm saying this publicly. I intend to win at least one game of the year award, overall best game of the year. So yeah. And then the last thing for 2025, marriage. I won't say more than that, because I know this, again, the internet never forgets. People will hold me to my words. But yeah, I have marriage on my mind. I'm 35. So yeah, it's high time. And yeah, I think that's just it. This is just me putting myself out there and some of my thoughts out there, and just appreciating God for the life I've had so far, and the fact that I am now 35. I'm halfway to 70. That is crazy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 35 years. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to do everything on my bucket list: skydiving, scuba diving, a lot of different divings, um, a lot of stuff actually. Stay tuned, you'll hear more about the rest later. So, like I always say, dreams don't turn to dust.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.